And we are showing you a live picture right now out of Parker County after that swift line of severe storms moves across North Texas. This is what we are left with, damage across much of our viewing area. And some of it looks like this. Again, we talked about overturned big rigs, and then now we're getting some new images in from our reporter here, Janelle, who just got to the scene, and she's been talking to people in the area to try to get more information about what exactly happened, if everyone's okay here. But we do know that Parker County has been reporting that they had several different fire trucks and officers responding to this area.
Yeah, again, 6:30 on the clock. Thank you for joining us on WFA and WFA Plus, and many of you may be on the app as well this morning. Kara Sewell and Mark Istook here in studio. We've got crews around North Texas who have been very busy this morning trying to stay safe as they cover this storm. It's fast moving, and we knew we were in for some potential severe weather this morning, but about 4:45 things really got going.
And now we're looking ahead, and at this point we're seeing 2-hour delay with Kaufman ISD. Some of our school districts are reporting in. Arlington's on a 2-hour delayed bus schedule. We've also heard from Lamplighter School in the Dallas area, which is a little closer to 635 and Forest Hills, that it's going to be delayed this morning. And at this point right now, if you are getting up and getting going, you've heard the thunder, you've seen the wind, you've heard the wind. I would anticipate, down power lines this morning, and a lot of red lights, as far as a lot of four stops are going to be out.
Oh, absolutely. Those flashing lights, when the power's out at a stoplight. We mentioned the Encore outage map several times this morning. 315,000 affected customers they have so far out of about 4 million customers served. So you're coming up on about 10% of all Encore customers dealing with some sort of an outage this morning. And I imagine that crews may have a little bit of a difficult time getting out and about, getting some of that stuff fixed when you've got down power lines, trees that have fallen, and just the conditions. Thankfully, though, it is not still as severe across all of our area because that storm has been so quick moving across North Texas. But it really, as I mentioned, it got going pretty quickly just before 5 o'clock.
And Mark, I just checked too. It looks like right now that ground stop out at DFW has been lifted. It was set to expire at 6:30, so that has been cleared too. And Greg, you were saying, yes, it's moving quickly, but we are going to be left with these winds.
Yeah, still going to be left with the winds, not related to the thunderstorms that are rolling through. We'll talk more about that a little bit later here, coming up in a few minutes. But let's talk about and show you where this line is. And we'll still have some severe storms moving into our eastern counties right now. And you see that the line from Bonham down to Greenville, Terrell, out toward Waxahachie, and even down toward Hillsborough there. Still looking at some strong winds. Looks like the intensity of this line has maybe come down some, but we're still looking at that potential for some severe winds. Let's zoom in on that area as we head over into Hunt County there around Commerce, where we did have a report of several trees down and even a tree through a roof there as well into Hunt County around Commerce there. So those winds quite strong in Commerce there. We're talking 60+ mile per hour winds, maybe still approaching 70, but hopefully that intensity looks like it's maybe coming down some, but still going to have some strong winds that we're going to be dealing with along the line of the leading edge of this line of storms that has been moving very quickly throughout the area. So still maybe up over 70 miles per hour with the velocities there as we put that on the area here this morning. So we're still going to have some strong winds to deal with across the area. Some very heavy rain as well, frequent lightning. You see the leading edge again getting into the eastern portions of our area right now. The Metroplex, though, not going to be totally in the clear, but we'll still have some rain and thunderstorms to deal with on the back edge of that. The winds will be dying down. Still plenty of wet roads out there, and still frequent lightning heading down south and east of Kaufman. That's going to move over toward Canton right now. So looking at that severe thunderstorm warning there, and that's what the warnings are going to be for this morning. That severe thunderstorm warning for those damaging winds that we're going to be seeing across the area here for this morning. So numerous reports of damage, some power outages as well. Our crews have been fanned out all across the Metroplex here this morning, updating you on the situation there. So I do want to go out to Janelle Fort quickly to talk about what's happening there. And you are in Parker County. So Janelle, what do you have for us now?
Well, Greg, we are in the Crosswinds RV and tiny home community. I know as the storms were making their way across the Metroplex, we talked about those strong winds, those damaging winds, and this is the result of that. This kind of gives you a clearer picture of the impacts of that. This is one of those RVs that was flipped over out here. You can see the damage, the sheer destruction that's happened because of this. If you look a little to your left, you can see that's the kitchen. We've seen food scattered on the ground. I see a teddy bear. I want to put this into perspective. This is an RV, so it's not one of those trailers that's set into the ground. This is the kind of RV you'd see latched on to the back of a truck. But still, that shows you just how strong those gusts of wind were for it to be able to knock this RV over. In this park alone, the Parker County Office of Emergency Management says that there were 3 separate RVs that flipped over. They said in a Facebook post that they were here doing rescue efforts. We are still working to learn if there are any injuries from this and the extent of those injuries. But looking here, you can see, anyone who was in any of these homes, you can only imagine what was going through their head and what they were experiencing as that line of storms made its way through this area. As you can see now, we're not even getting any rain. There was a slight drizzle at the start of this live shot. Now it's not happening anymore. So we'll continue to be out here. We're waiting to see if we hear any rumblings from the neighbors over in this area, if everybody has left, so we can get a little bit more details about what happened here this morning. But for now, I'm going to send it over to Brianda for a look at traffic. Brianda, what's it looking like out there?
So we've been seeing a ton of issues out on the roadways, a ton of overturned semis like the one that's being reported here on 35E. It's near the Dallas and Ellis County line. So yes, multiple lanes are currently blocked. You can't see the overturned semi in the camera, but you could just see the backup that it is causing. Pulling up a couple more cameras, there's congestion just everywhere across the Metroplex due to crashes. There's a crash being reported right here. This is north of Fair Park in the eastbound lanes of I-30 and Haskell. It does look like there's some construction cones that got blown over, some construction stuff. Even driving in this morning, I saw construction cones just scattered around on the roadways because of those high winds. And I did want to show you this just so you can see how much water is out on the roadways. 67 at Loop 12 going eastbound and westbound. Cars are just going really into that the water on the roadways. But we do have Chris out there on the roadway. Chris, what can you tell us about where you are right now?
Gabrianda, we are on 35 South. We are right at the Cook County, Denton County line, and we just got diverted off the highway onto the service road. As I'll flip to our traffic camera, there are emergency lights. Really, as we've traveled this stretch of 35, you see them every so often, just because that's how many crashes are out there. We talked about how many semi-trucks that we've tracked that have been blown over in these high winds. Let's see if we get over this hill, if we can see. This is an area where it looks like there is another one. If you can see the emergency lights off in the distance, I will try to zoom in. But we've had so many of these semi trucks being blown over because of the high winds. I think Greg was saying reaching upwards of 70 miles per hour. And yeah, you can see that they are on the scene of another one right here. This is one a little bit further north of where we were earlier in the morning. I want to show you video from that crash. That was a semi truck that we stumbled upon in North Lake. That was before the first responders even got there. And we were there when they were able to get the driver out of the cabin and put him into the ambulance. He appeared to be okay. They had him sitting upright, but that was one of what we confirmed was 4 semis being overturned, 3 on that stretch of 35W, and then 1 in Fort Worth that was not on a major highway. Guys, if you come back out here live, I'm going to try and get a shot of this. We kind of pulled over here safely so that traffic can still get by, and I will see if I can show you exactly what's happening here. The wrecker is on the scene, and you can see the semi right there, overturned. Again, this is on right near the Cook County, Denton County line, southbound 35. They diverted all the traffic onto the service road. So it is a very windy morning, and I think, Greg, you even said that once the storms blow through, we're still going to be dealing with these high winds throughout the day.
Yeah, behind this up front and these storms as they move on out, we won't have thunderstorm winds to deal with any longer, but we'll have some very strong winds out of the west behind it. So we'll bring Cassie in a little bit later and we'll talk more in detail about that. But let's get these storms out of the way first. Let's talk a little bit more about where they are now, that the line of storms. It's moving east of the Metroplex right now. You see the back edge of the thunderstorms quickly moving into the western parts of the Metroplex right now, but we're still going to have some strong winds to deal with a little farther east as we we get out toward Greenville there, over toward Bonham, getting out toward Sulphur Springs and Paris, you're still under severe thunderstorm warnings there. For those strong winds, could be 60+ miles per hour that we're dealing with getting into our far northeastern counties. Now, a little farther south, heading down toward Kaufman, no severe thunderstorm warning there for you, but we're still looking at some very heavy rain down around Gun Barrel City, moving over toward Canton and Edgewood. And the winds are still going to be gusty, maybe not severe gusts, but maybe up over 40 miles per hour in your area that we're going to be dealing with as well. So that's heading right down 175 through Kaufman County, down toward Gun Barrel City there, out along I-20 as well, and Highway 80 as we get into Kaufman County and Van Zant counties here this morning. So we're still going to have some strong winds to deal with, maybe not severe winds, but those winds still will be gusty in those areas as well. So as we zoom out a little bit more, you see around Gun Barrel City there, and looking at the timecast, pushing a little farther east, things will begin to wind down as we head toward 8, 9 o'clock here this morning. So that will be the good news, but we'll still have some very strong winds to deal with behind this system as it works its way in. So we'll talk a little bit more about that for us coming up here in just a bit. Am I going over to Brianda now? Going to check on traffic? Mark and Karen,
You're
no,
coming
back
to
to
us.
you.
Yep.
Thank you, Greg. Okay, so we just checked. Want to give you an update here on some school delays. It looks like Garland, Rowlett, Saxe are going to have a delay when it comes to buses. They are holding those buses out of an abundance of caution, and they will provide an update. So again, we're not getting an exact time on that delay, but they're just holding back overall. And, you know, probably not a bad idea considering the damage we've seen on some of the roadways over there.
Yeah, that's what they're reporting in Everman, that some of the damage is going to cause difficulties getting to and from school this morning. So again, if you have some extra time to give yourself before you get out and about, you should. Maybe plan a little bit longer to get to your destination this morning, if it is a school especially. Want to get those kids out of there safely this morning. But again, you saw the storm kind of move through pretty quickly. It's the aftermath that we're dealing with. I did look at the Encore map just a moment ago, and it seems like they are holding steady at the number of customers experiencing an outage. We saw that spike so quickly over the past few hours, but it seems to have leveled off. So that means at least that you are seeing, that threat kind of diminish in our area, and hopefully those crews can get out and get those lines repaired.
Well, we're checking in with our school districts every few minutes, and at this point right now, we're still looking at Arlington on a 2-hour delay when it comes to buses, Kaufman ISD on a 2-hour delay, and a few schools in Dallas that are also going to be delayed potentially because if we're looking at those power outages. Yeah,
again, a great day to have the WFA app downloaded if you haven't gotten it already. Again, thank you for joining us both on air and streaming on WFA Plus. We'll take a quick break and be right back after this.